It's a night race this time. Hello everyone, and welcome to the LSI F1 World Championship. We're today for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, and we have only got 3 races to go, including this one. After this one, we'll be going to the penultimate race in Monza. Zingy, all he needs to do today is get top 2 in this race, and he will be a 6-time world champion. Bassoon not competing today has given him that luxury. Will anything change? Will Zingy get there or not? We will find out very shortly. Got a few people starting at the back. We have got a few people setting laps already. And only 9 minutes on the clock with Zingy himself not setting a lap yet. Having a couple issues, struggling a little bit to get the car in a position where he likes it and get a valid lap in, more importantly. Now, can he get that done? I'm sure he can. It's usually a circuit that is very competitive for him. Whether it will be competitive enough this time around, we will have to wait and see. Lars Korsman obviously very, very fast wherever he goes. Although he doesn't say that he's too confident around this circuit, he says that a lot, and he still does very well. It's an interesting circuit, this one at Abu Dhabi. It is a great race circuit. Great for DRS, great for braking zones. So I think we can get some good battles. And it will be much a DRS game, and more importantly probably a strategy game. You've got a mix of corners and a mix of high-speed straights where the tyres don't matter as much. So yeah, strategy is going to be pretty important. We've got Devon Young who's starting a lap, the first one in the lobby, as they have joined late. So they'll get their first one done and just see where they can get themselves on the banker. They still have time to go again. Zingy is on his way on to another lap, but doing his out lap at the moment. He's got his teammate also currently on an actual lap, although I don't think they're going to meet to give them a bit of a tow. They're just going to drive their own qualifying session for now. And yeah, anyway, we carry on. Now, Devon down the straight, had a bit of traffic to navigate, but got through it quite nicely into the braking zone. Heavy braking zone. Be careful of the curb. If you can use it, great. If you can't, don't worry about it too much, as you really don't want to bottom out on that curb. Bit squirmy on the exit, which isn't exactly ideal. Interestingly, bringing it to the right of the circuit. Real world racing, that's the right thing to do. F1 game, you want to try and hold it left to minimise track distance. And as you keep it nice and tight, slowly feed the steering out the corner as you get to the exit curb. Be careful not to bottom out on that one. Be careful not to bottom out on the inside curb. Here, down you go, down the hill, up on the brake bias a little bit, because it will be very easy to lose the car under braking. And then on the exit, get as close as you can to the track limits. Eager Pro setting the provisional pole time. Devon Young coming around the final corner. What's it going to be for the man in blue today? It's going to be, a P4 indeed, so 22.7. And there's a few areas where he can definitely improve on there. Nifo, P7 into the pit lane. Zingy didn't set a lap yet, so he's on his lap now, and we'll see what this man can do. We'll look at the sector time, see if he's going to go purple. As we go down the straight, we will get the this is the second sector underway already. We've missed the first sector. We'll go down on the exit of the next straight, or at the end of the next straight I should say, then we'll get the second sector, and we'll be able to tell where he really is on this lap. Riding that exit curve nicely, and you'll see him holding it to the left-hand side of the circuit to minimise that track distance. Slightly cut across as you can, just abusing track limits a little bit. Purple in the middle sector, very likely purple in the first sector as well, keeping it really tight to the left-hand side, and then opening that steering, having a really easy time on the throttle. Did that perfectly. Final sector though, or final few corners, final complex. Just keep the momentum as best as you can. Keep the speed constant so you don't all of a sudden lose out into the final corner. Very easy to get wrong with the weird-ass camber. DRS available. Not available, sorry. A 21.8. No DRS available. And he is the first one into the 2020, the 21s. I am all over the place. I do apologise, everybody. But 5 minutes on the clock. Got a little bit more time to warm up, and then we'll be good to go. I'm sure That is Zingy setting his lap. We've got Gilly. He's setting his lap, but I think yeah, he's just harvesting. He's going to go again in a moment's time. So Zingy, Igor, Charlie in P3, Peanuts in P4, and Devon Young in P5. Of course, Peanuts and Devon Young fighting in the F1.5 EU Championship. Now, that is a very, very spicy one for sure. Last race was absolute chaos. No driver of those two scoring points in the end. So they've got a lot to get done in these last 3 races to try and secure their places in the championship. What will happen, we will find out tomorrow, so make sure you tune in. It's going to be a good one. Gilly down the hill, across the sector line. It is a pretty much dead lap time, more or less, almost a 10th down really, missing the apex on the inside. Not exactly ideal, but you can still focus on the exit, so there is an advantage, and you're going to get a really nice run down the straight, of course, which will always help. It's a long straight, so you really want to make sure that you maximise that exit. Into the almost hairpin, no, a chicane, very tight chicane that is for one though. DRS available for the second and last time in the lap, keeping it hard to the left hand side, over the second sector line into sector 3. It's going to be a pretty much dead time again, so maybe he's made a mistake in that final sector, which he's looking to try and redeem as we will go down the hill. The car will be bottoming out all over the place. You've got to be so careful that you don't get instability. Now, he's managed to deal with that quite nicely. Still got a few more corners to go. Just about managed to not invalidate that lap. That's very impressive indeed. And he goes straight into the pit lane. He's not improved. He did mess that up a little bit, and he will just go again in a few moments' time, if he can get out in time. 3 minutes on the clock, lots of people, everyone in the pit lane, no one else there. He's actually decided to just give that one in. He's not going to qualify any further forward. He will just let it be. Charlie is the first one out of the pits to make the final stint of qualifying work. Where can he get himself? He's only got 2 positions to go up, but a lot of positions to fall down if he doesn't get a lap in. We'll see. It does mean, obviously, the other guys still have to try and beat him, which isn't going to be easy. He's a very quick guy. But they definitely have some time to get it done. And Track Evolution on their side to help them out. Now, the AlphaTauri is on their way out as well, whether that be Zingy or Nifojan. I don't know. Probably Nifojan to go out first. I assume Zingy's going to leave it as late as he possibly can. We'll find that in a few seconds' time. And it's going to be Nifojan as expected. So Zingy will come out in a little bit and go for that very, very, very late run, as he'll probably want to be doing. Charlie's got all the time in the world to warm up their tyres on the brakes. Brake dragging, as I said last week, it's the way to do it, unfortunately. But it does mean you get a very nice benefit of not wearing the tyres out whilst keeping the tyres warm. So yeah, it's a beneficial thing for sure. I'm sure if it worked in the real world, everyone would be doing that as well, rather than weaving those tyres. It is just very, very, very advantageous to do that, even though it may not be super realistic. Now, Zingy is out, and he is absolutely powering down, trying to just get a bit of a gap from the cars behind. The cars behind are squabbling for position, just to try and get their space on their final run. Now, the 2 Aston Martins at the back of that pack right now. The Alpine of PJ has decided to try and leave the pit lane with 1 minute and 17 seconds to go. Unfortunately, he will not be going again in qualifying. The Aston Martins should be able to get there, but they don't exactly have too much time to waste. We will see though, as Charlie is going to start their final run out the final corner, sliding a little bit all over the place, but they still manage to keep it stable before they get to the first corner. Decent run on exit, use everything you can, try and open up the steering and use that exit to, I don't know, just use track usage. I am all over the place, I do apologise. I said that again and I will say it again. Braking hard into the hairpin, changing lines in qualifying, changing lines in the race. It will be when everybody is, of course, on slightly more worn tyres or less worn tyres, depending if they've just made a pit stop. That corner can have a couple of racing lines, depending if you're on your own or if you're battling another car. And that's going to be a very interesting one for a little bit later, which will be a very enjoyable corner to watch, I am sure. DRS available bringing it to the right-hand side again. Interestingly, this is what Devon did earlier, and get themselves positioned well, nice and early. So that is the advantage that you do get from such a thing. That is a purple middle sector for Charlie at the moment. Brings it all the way to the left-hand side, then down to the right, cutting the inside curve. Not many people have done that this evening. Doesn't get the first apex of the double left-hander, just kisses the second one. Final 2 corners to go. Very straightforward. The penultimate one, the final corner, a bit of braking, and then back on the throttle immediately and keep it far to the left-hand side to get the steering straight. That is a 0.9, 1/10 off. 1/10 off Zingy. Zingy's invalidated. He will not be able to defend his pole position. What's it going to be for Nipperjan? He's got a couple more corners to go on his return after missing out the Dutch Grand Prix, his home race. It's going to be a P4. Brilliant job to finish that one. Robbo crosses the line. It's going to be a P6 for him. Here comes the Aston Martin of Peanuts. We've got Eager Pro. We're going to see Tom Brainer. He stays in 8th place. Igor's not going to improve. It's going to be Devon Young. That'll be the last qualifier, I think, as he is P6. Does he set P6? He does set P6. That is going to be qualifying done. That is Zingy on pole position to start his evening very, very nicely indeed. We'll see if he can convert this into a top 2 that he needs to get that 6th World Championship and 5 championships in a row. Definitely very impressive to have the dedication to be able to do that. It's a skill in itself. He definitely deserves it. Bassoon's given it a good shot late on. But this man is in a strong position to do it today at a circuit that he loves. That's qualifying done. Zingy's on pole, Charlie in P2, Igor in P3. That's the rest of the grid. And we'll go through the race director just in case. And then we'll be back for the race. We'll see you in a bit. Ready? Hold. go! Who's going to get it into turn 1? That is Charlie getting a very good start on the inside line. Zingy, will he be able to take the racing line? No, yes he will. The two Aston Martins so close. Off in the background is a Ferrari. Inside line for the Aston Martin as they go through the second corner. It's all a little bit difficult. Nifo-Jan P4 challenging for that third spot if he can get the job done. But no, he'll have to hold on behind for now. That is Devon Young there, P5, making a bit of progress. That's going to be Robbo spinning. That's going to be JJ spinning as well on exit. Both cars having big issues there. Don't know what happened. We've got Nifo-Jan yet again looking to challenge. It's going to be Charlie for the race lead though. The outside line on the hard tyre. Equal playing fields. He's got the job done. I say that, no, it's Zingy defending his position. Sorry, I do apologise. That is Zingy holding that P1. I got mixed up. He used to be a Mercedes driver, not right now. That's Devon Young, P4, as he moves ahead of the other Aston Martin right there, Egapro, P5, and he's got Tyres Korsman close behind, and he is very quick at the moment. Tom Brainer right behind. He's going side by side with PJ. PJ goes off the circuit, rejoins behind though. He's going to have to sit there. Gilly is sat right there. Robbo's managed to get in the race again immediately after having those issues, which is very impressive. Eichler right behind him. JJ not quite so much, but he doesn't have damage because he didn't hit that wall. Zingy, fastest lap as he leads the opening lap of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Charlie following closely behind, giving it a very good shot to be able to fight for that lead already. That is DRS lost for Nifo-Jan, but he's got more problems to worry about, and actually he's already broken away from the cars behind, so he's very quick at the moment, and he almost he is within DRS range, so he is rapid at this point in time. Can he hold on, or can he get it when we get to the final stages? We will find out. That is the Aston Martin of Igor losing that position to Korsman. It's going to be Tom Brainer following them as well. Igor's not going to hold on. We've got a 3 wide moment almost, it looked like, but it's going to be side by side with Robbo and PJ. Robbo holds on, just about sending it into the second corner of the chicane, and PJ just lets it happen. Robbo is now to P10, looking to try and catch Gilly up ahead here, but we'll see how that goes. Igor, although losing a few positions, got momentum back again. Will he be able to hold on? No, I say that. Momentum will not go back again. It's going to be Gilly trying to force it round the outside. Is he going to be able to make that work? No, he has to back off. Robbo's so close, but losing the car on the rear again this evening. So he's very squirmy on that backside. Got to be careful. Keep it in check and you'll be able to get good points. If you don't, you're going to be risking a bit too much and you could find yourself in the wall. Zingy holding on, but Devon Young getting fastest lap this time. Nifo-Jan maintaining the gap quite nicely. They just need a little bit more to get that DRS. Whether they'll be able to get the job done though, they've got to try immediately, but I think they're going to miss out for now. No DRS for this man, but for this man, Devon Young, he's going to be in a strong position. We have to look at the race lead though. Will we see Charlie challenge for the first time with DRS and go for the lead of the Grand Prix? Bit too far back for now, so I don't think we'll see any movement, so he's just going to let that one go. Devon also just going to let that one happen as well, but we've got Tom Brainer and Tyres Korsman. No, just close together, but not making many moves at the moment. They let that happen as well. Will we see any moves further down the straight though? We are going to see Charlie go for the lead of the Grand Prix, and Zingy can't do anything about it this time. We'll just have to let it be. Devon Young not attacking Nifo-Jan. He will let that happen himself. We've got Egapro fighting with Gilly for the second lap in a row. They've got cars behind to keep them company, so they can't afford to make any mistakes. Will Igor let this one go, or is he going to try and hold on to it? Still trying to hold on to it with the hard tyre. It does invite Robbo to the outside line, but not for long. He has to slot in behind. Gilly on that soft compound tyre. We'll have a quick look at the tyres, but yeah, interesting that Igor really didn't want to give that one up. Lots of people on the harder compounds, except from Tom Brainer and PJ, as well as Gilly, not going for that standard strategy. So this is going to be interesting for their race later on, of course. We'll find out how that affects things, if it does affect things at all. We've got Zingy and Charlie yet again leading the Grand Prix. Will we see any switch-ups, though? I don't think so. Will Zingy want to go for it? I don't think he is. He's holding off. He is holding off, but who's not holding off is Devon Young, who is super super close to the back of Nifojan. They are going to make the switch. He's going to take the racing line, and they will not do anything about that. Courseman ahead of Peanuts now, so he's got himself to P5 on lap 4. Very impressive stuff. We've got Robbo and PJ switching positions. It looked like Robbo was going for the move on Igor for a moment, but then he backs off a little bit later. Igor's going for the move on Gilly. Robbo momentarily losing that position. Gilly lets that one go. Igor back up to 8th place, and that might be already the soft tyres over if they're not careful. Those soft tyres won't last for too much longer, so they've got to try and make use of them if they can. Zingy just holding on to the back of Charlie at the moment, letting everything play out as it is. These guys working together to slowly create their gap, which is always good, of course. Now, Courseman trying to get a bit more in the car, see if he can make a move here. And if he can make that move, of course, then maybe he can gain the lead of the Grand Prix, or gain DRS from the lead pack, of course. Now, interestingly, Nifojan gains back that position. Tyres Courseman to the inside line, but he doesn't. He's not going to give it a shot. It's going to be Devon Young who misses his braking point. This is going to give a perfect opportunity for Tyres Courseman to get that run. I think he's going to look for the double overtake right here. It's going to be Nifojan with nothing he can do, but he's boxed himself in. He chose to box himself in, Courseman there. That's a very strange one. Contact between the cars. That's going to be contact again on exit as Nifojan tries his best to hold on. It's going to be Peanuts now having a look, using the energy to try and make the move work, but the cars in front are also using the energy. Nifojan back to the inside line. Is he going to be able to maintain it on the inside though? I think he might be able to give it a good shot. There's once again a wheel bang, but the outside line turns to the racing line for the AlphaTauri. He just about holds on, and they're still within DRS range of Devon Young, losing crucial time to the top two, but it doesn't matter. There is Nifojan up to P4 again. Tyres Courseman having to use a bit of energy to maintain, or to try and go for that move, but in the end it didn't actually matter. Had to give in, and very, very good effort from those guys, keeping it in a straight line whilst they battle. That is going to be Gilly losing the car, so those soft tyres are already dead, and he goes into the pit lane. I think that was just about legal from him there, so he's going to have to go for a different set of tyres on lap 6 out of 29 already. Top two lead the way, switching positions they will be though. This time the Scotsman is in a very strong position. Devon Young not needing to challenge, or defend I should say, from the cars behind, as Nifojan isn't quite there yet, but he's got a lot of heat behind him. He's got to be careful. He wants to try and challenge up front, but he can't because he's in the middle of a battle. He's going to go for the inside on Devon Young. Devon can't do anything about it. Courseman is there. Devon trying to hold his nose in all of a sudden. I think that's going to be the job done though for Courseman. Second time around, manages to get it done as they get to the downhill. Oh my god, what the hell happened there? Peanuts sending it to the inside. I don't know if that was intentional or an accident, but he, I'm sure, scared Devon Young from that move. Just about avoiding contact, and they stay together in their train. That was very, very close for sure. Tom Brainer watched that behind, ready to react, ready to gain two positions in one corner it was, I'm sure, but no, he has to back off. He's going to then lose the front wing himself, and that is such a shame. I shouldn't have been watching his screen. It's going to be a virtual safety car, and that will be a front wing replacement for him. No full safety car, and to this man's delight, he does not want a full safety car. He just wants to be in the lead of the Grand Prix. He doesn't mind if Charlie is here. He just wants to finish that top two, ideally get a win around a circuit that he does love. A virtual safety car is always good to relax and save a little bit, but you really don't want a full safety car, at least when you're leading a Grand Prix in the way Zingy is doing right now. And that's already green flags. No time wasted at all. Decent restart there. Pretty much the same gap as it was, although Courseman did get a bit of a jump. But who got a jump even more so? It was Nifojan. That is the best safety car restart I think I've ever seen. That is the move done. There was a bit of a gap between these guys, but he's got the job done into the hairpin, and that is, P3 again, holding on nicely, trying to get that P3, try and make sure he can maintain it. Maybe it will help him a little bit later on in the Grand Prix. Corseman just can't quite find his way through, and this is only costing him time to catch up to Zingy, as he's just trying to show his presence on the outside there. Nifo's not gonna let that affect him, although he does go off the circuit on the exit. It's not going to lose him any time. He will continue. Corseman losing the car. Devon Young's going to see that. He might want to go for a move. We'll see if he considers it or not. Phenomenal looking helmet there as well, running that Max Verstappen helmet. Corseman on the exit, DRS available. I think he's definitely going to get this one done now, unless he waits for the second straight, but I don't think he's got that luxury. With Williams behind, if he sees that they're not making that move, that Williams will opt for the double overtake if he's not careful. Peanuts is right there, of course, in the battle as well. Losing the car, or not losing the car on the exit, pretty much just power sliding as he's aggressive as he can be to give it another fighting chance. This time, Corseman's going to be too far in front. That's going to be the battle done. Sliding the car through the corners, keeping it in a straight line though. I noticed that a little bit. Wasn't sure if I was seeing things right earlier on in the Grand Prix, but we can confirm he is using that brake bias to its advantage. Whether it be good for the tyres or not, I don't quite know, but I'm sure it's quick. 3.1 seconds though, that's the gap for the cars ahead. Right now, Charlie is still in P2, but only by 0.1 of a second. Zingy still ahead of Charlie, and they are in their kind of locked-in zone of a 1-2. This will help them massively with the DRS. This is a circuit that has pretty strong DRS, of course, compared to others. That is Peanuts ahead of Devon Young as well. We didn't see that switch in the background, but he's made it work this time, going for that very optimistic move. I'm sure it was maybe not intended as aggressive as it was earlier on in the race, but I'm sure it'll just try and cover it up and say, it was definitely intentional. We'll see in the interviews, of course. Now, Devon Young not in a position to re-overtake Aston Martin. That's going to be Gilly retiring the car in the final sector. Another virtual safety car is deployed. I don't think anybody is going to be going into the pit lane in time, though, because it's pretty late VRC for where the pit lane is. It will probably restart as soon as they get to the pit lane entry, or maybe even a little bit before. Whether that's the case though, will Zingy opt to go to the pit lane a little bit earlier than usual to gain from that safety car advantage? Just a little bit extra time it would be, and that could be nice for him, but no, already a green flag, so it's not going to be a pit stop for these guys. He'll just let it go and continue on his merry way in the lead of the Grand Prix. Nifojan not going to be so much in a good place to be able to get that good restart compared to where he was on the straight, of course, having that phenomenal move immediately. Now, Corseman has dragged the field along with him to be able to now be just 2 seconds away from the cars in front. That is a brilliant advantage that they've got now in that train. 4 cars against 2 cars in the train, you are probably going to have a bit of an advantage as long as they're not fighting too hard. They were fighting a little bit before, but now they've kind of balanced it out, and they are making sure that they focus on catching that lead pack, which it looks like they are doing so, and it's going to be very juicy for the points positions, of course. Zingy currently, as it stands, will be the winner of the championship in Season 12, making it that 6th, being the best, or continuing to extend his status as being the best ever LSI driver we've ever seen. The dedication, I will say yet again, is very impressive. The consistency too. Only 2 or 3 DNFs in his career in LSI, and a couple of crashes that he's had have been at the end of races, so he's been registered as finished. And for the amount of Grand Prix that he's done, racing in the 2020, 2021, 22 and 23 games, that's a very good stat to have and that definitely shows consistency is key, and it's what's helped him to this success. Battles behind, we could see Heisler and PJ. Heisler on that softer compound tyre, but they'll probably be dying out within the next few laps, I reckon. Those mediums are definitely going to have to go for a pit stop within the next probably 5 laps as a minimum. I don't think we'd get to another lap after that. Maybe even 4 laps it'll be for when we get the pit stops. That's Tom Brainer fastest on the fastest tyre. Very good to see, trying to make something work after that issue that they had. Maybe he's trying to get some tyre data ready for tomorrow. They're hoping for a good result, I'm sure. Charlie, sitting in that P2 spot, just relaxing with Zingy at the moment. 2.1 seconds, the gap did not change as it did earlier on. So now they're stabilising a little bit. As long as they don't make mistakes, I think Korsman will be in a bit of a gridlock situation. And of course he's got a lot of pressure behind, so he can't make mistakes. Otherwise we will see Nifojan probably not hesitating to make that move, getting to that provisional P3 spot. Of course there's a long way to go in the race, but if you can get ahead into the pit stop section, that should give you a pretty good advantage. You can control the race from there, whether you want to go for an early pit stop or a late pit stop, undercut or overcut. So you just relaxed at the moment, making sure that he doesn't get any trap limits for later on in the Grand Prix. Charlie has a couple himself, might have been a bit of clumsy ones if he is relaxing in the train at the moment, so hopefully he can get that sorted if he's racing tomorrow. And that P4 position is under threat. We've got Peanuts right behind. He's looking to make that move on Nifojan. Nifo can't defend on the ERS. It's going to be Peanuts on the ERS. Is he even going to look for the P2 spot? P3 spot, I should say. There's a bit of a tap there. It looked like maybe from Nifojan. He's still trying to hold on to that position though. Not going to be easy. That's going to be Peanuts going off the circuit. I think the space was left. It's now going to be Devon Young taking that position immediately as well. And all of a sudden, all that energy there used from the Aston Martin is gone. And instead of going a step forward, he's gone one step back. That is Davin Young spotting the positions that he could gain, and yeah, very well done there from him. Keeping that consistency, just following in that train, getting great experience for tomorrow's race. Being in dirty air will definitely help us. These guys will probably be racing pretty closely as they have been all season. Now, Nifojan, although not having much energy in that car, has been able to hold on for quite a few laps, which is very good itself. Peanuts tried to pull that plug, but didn't quite work out. Lost the car on the exit of the chicane. Alrighty, that's a pit stop there for PJ. That is that medium tyre done. Lap 13, so 12 laps on those tyres. Expect that to be similar for the other guys. I don't think we're going to see Charlie go for the move, even though it's so close. We're also going to see exactly the same feat there for Nifojan. We've got Devon Young, who almost went into the back of those guys. Don't think he really judged the speed of the cars in front too well. That's going to be Peanuts immediately taking that position back, and he will regain very nicely. I say that, it's not going to be so straightforward, as Devon Young's still going to put that pressure on the outside line, trying to maybe force the Aston Martin into a mistake. If he could get that done, of course, and he might be able to regain that position immediately and still maintain that third spot in the train that he's currently in, but this time he's just going to have to settle for that fourth spot. .1 seconds between Korsman and Charlie. That gap has been fairly constant throughout the last few laps now. He's done a very good job to get through the field, but the beauty of starting at the front means you can kind of get the front and then stay there rather than having to make all the progress first. And that's what Zingy and Charlie are showing now, working together in brilliant harmony. That's Robbo making a pit stop already, so we might see a couple people follow in very shortly. Of course, PJ making that early pit stop. JJ, is he There you go. He's not a lap down. He is on the same amount of laps as everybody else, but still going to look for a standard strategy. Not going to take any risks at the moment. There's still a long way to go in this Grand Prix. Almost. Well, we are pretty much on the halfway mark. Could we see Charlie go for the move as he's trying to get into the lead of the Grand Prix? As we are going to go for a pit stop phase, potentially. That could definitely trigger it. We've got Nifferjan so close to the back of that Red Bull, looking like he's trying to pressure as well to maybe go for moves. 2.2 seconds, losing a tenth there to the cars ahead. As those cars ahead, of course, making those moves. Now Charlie leads the way. Will he go into the pit lane? We're expecting him to do so. Will we see Zingy also follow on? He isn't going to go into the pit lane, and Zingy also will not do. You can see he's made a bit of a mistake there. I thought he was probably just taking different lines, but no, it was a mistake. It's going to be Nifferjan reacting to Zingy as they will be communicating so they don't cross over in the pit box. Zingy decides he's going to stay out, continue to maintain the train, as he doesn't need to really worry about too much, of course, being ahead with this advantage. Nifferjan can get a very nice undercut in this situation himself. The question is, will he have any traffic? I don't think he will. He gets out nicely in front and his tyres will warm up pretty quickly. Robbo might be able to catch up, but I think it'll probably be game over. That undercut, though, definitely proving to be very, very nice. Indeed, Tom Brainer very close to the back of Robbo, just not quite in DRS range just yet. P7 for now. He's going to jump, obviously, where he was, and maybe more. Heischler not in the battle, so 8 seconds up the road only. He will definitely get that move. The cars in front, in their train, it will definitely, of course, cancel out a bit of an undercut more than usual, but I'm not entirely sure. Charlie and Zingy pushing this time around as they escape from Korsman a little bit. Could we see a pit stop from these guys? We'll see a double pit stop. Will we see Korsman follow in? No, he will not. He will extend. So will Devon Young. Peanut's going to go into the pit box as well. Now, Korsman and Devon Young looking to go a little bit further, and that will give them an advantage over Nifferjan, as that is a momentary switch, of course, as Peanuts has got a bit of a later pit box, it seems, so he's managed to make those overtakes temporarily. Heischler is going to be in front of these guys. We'll see if that changes a few things. And now here we go. That's Nifferjan on the exit. Is this undercut working? It seems like it's going to work pretty nicely. Peanuts is there, and he's good to go. He does have Robbo right behind, who's going to get that DRS, and he might be able to chuck himself in the battle, unless he's just missed out. Peanuts obviously having a lot of energy in that car from earlier on, and it will be, unfortunately, Robbo missing out for now, but Robbo will get DRS on the next straight. Nifferjan getting that okay undercut, maybe not as severe as I thought it would be, and it's going to definitely be a lot better than Devon Young and Tyus Korsman, who's going to have that 2-lap difference at least, at the very, very least. We'll see how that goes though. Robbo in that DRS, catching up to the back of Peanuts, but not enough to make that move. He's got to be careful with his energy, of course. He wants to try and be in the battle a little bit later on. These guys making pit stops up front. We have got Heischler right here. Will we see any changes? Zingy wants to try and clear that Ferrari as soon as he possibly can, but he's going to have to follow the car through the first sector. 16 lap-old hard tyres. He gains the lead of the Grand Prix for the first time this evening. That is going to be Korsman and Devon Young losing out a massive amount to these guys. That's going to be Heischler making a bit of a mistake. DRS is still preferred here from Zingy, as he's just going to wait behind as he can do, let the DRS kick in, and then make that move very easily. Very straightforward. Heischler's trying to defend it, but Zingy's already ahead. And that will be his move done. Will we see Charlie also go for it? He will. He will take that inside line. No second invitation needed. And I think that was very, very straightforward from those guys. Nifojan comfortably in P4. Korsman is right there, but they're fighting with Robbo, who's made that move work, going for that severe undercut. Korsman trying to hold it to the outside line, but he didn't have the room. That's going to be Devon Young losing a bit of a track limit advantage. Unfortunately, Peanuts to the outside line. He's looking to maybe make that move. He's just trying to hold on. I think there's almost contact. It's so close between these guys. Korsman comes out in front. We've still got a bit of a scuffle right here. I think it's going to be Peanuts holding on nicely though, as he's so late into that corner braking, as we've seen so many times this evening. Very, very impressive for him to do that. Whether it's faster than braking earlier and getting that better exit, I'm not entirely sure, but it seems to be working quite nicely. Now, a 1.7 second advantage Nifo managed to have there as those guys were battling. Of course, that undercut is definitely going to be a disadvantage a little bit later on, but it's not much of a difference, and a 1.9 second advantage that he now has is very, very, very useful. Will Nifojan struggle to get past Heisler, or is he going to be absolutely fine? Well, he's not going to be able to make the move immediately. It might be that he catches that Ferrari for when that Ferrari actually gets out the way. We'll see. Korsman, of course, gaining a lot. Zingy and Charlie switching positions. Now, we're kind of in a stable scenario of the Grand Prix. Tom Brain has made that pit stop, that second pit stop, and he's now on a pretty standard strategy compared to the rest of the field. Charlie and Zingy switching positions immediately again. So Charlie went for that move in the first straight, but the second straight, that was Zingy's move to go for again, and he got the job done. Now Heisler trying to hold on maybe to this P3 if he can get it done as well. We'll see how this goes. And he just can't get through, struggling behind, still not going for a pit stop. Must be looking to go for that soft tyre, and that is all of the hard work that Nifo's done. Just gone completely down the drain. Korsman catches up, so will Peanut, so will Robbo, so will Devon Young, and that is going to be a very, very devastating blow to AlphaTauri, and it's going to look like it's going to be a double overtake. Nifojan will be having that inside line boxed in as Korsman. He's going to try and follow through his fellow countryman. DRS available there to Nifojan. It's not available to Nifojan. It's actually available to Heisler, who might try and go for the move again. I am so confused at this battling here from Heisler. I really don't understand what he's doing on these hard tyres. He's doing it, and Nifojan, he's going to have lost out from that one. DRS available though. He's going to immediately look for that move again. The outside line he's invited to, but I don't think he's going to have the advantage as such into this corner. He might get a bit of a cutback, but no, that is the Red Bull through. Heisler continues to lose time, and the other guys, of course, having issues. We've got Robbo and Devon Young side by side in the final sector. Now Robbo having the inside line, and Devon will just have to hold on behind. Very good job, very well defended there from Robbo. Holds on just about. He's not too far away, might be able to catch up. Once again, Heisler trying to hold on for whatever reason, looking to go for that softer tyre a little bit later on. Maybe hoping to go for a soft tyre completely, not the mediums, just go completely to the soft tyre and then get that fastest lap point, see if he can get his way back to P9. But as I said, incredibly confusing fighting right here, and he spun the car, so all that hard work from his side is gone. Anyway, we move on. Korsman, pressure still from Nifojan, and no way of catching the cars ahead. They had that undercut as well, and I think along with their DRS train of their own, it's pretty much unstoppable. That force is going to be absolutely mega. A 5-second gap, of course, as well in the battle, trying to get past Heisler, lost them so much time, even more so, and that is going to be, I would argue, almost any chance of winning this Grand Prix without a safety car impossible. Neferjan still holding on very nicely though, keeping it nice and competitive. Peanuts losing out to DRS after trying to get past the Ferrari driver. Robbo in P6. He's got Devon Young right behind him. They've got a 1.9 second gap to Peanuts, so these guys need to try and work together if they want to catch up to that Aston Martin. Heisler into the pit lane. Onto the softs as expected. And that'll be a fastest lap attempt, I am sure. We've got Devon Young and Robbo going side by side into the hairpin. Devon Young not quite utilising the exit, but he gives all the space that he can. He's going to get DRS. It's not going to be available for Robbo. That's going to be the position gained as they go down the straight. And Robbo's just going to have to hold on and look for DRS on the second straight. Will he be able to get the job done though? No ERS really available to fully utilise a straight. DRS will be available though. He's not going to go for the moves this time around. They will settle and they will try and catch up to Peanuts, but a 2.3 second gap is not going to help. These guys stay as they are. Neferjan on the edge of losing DRS here right now. And I think that might be it. That could be P4 solidified. He's still got more things to think about though, as Peanuts is very close. The other cars behind, of course, battling, and they do have time penalties themselves, whereas Peanuts not so much, so it is all to play for these guys. And in the higher tier, of course, F1, everyone is scoring the points that they are positioning themselves in, of course, other than post-race penalties. Compared to F1.5 EU, where higher tier drivers score a different point system. So, Neferjan does need to try and make sure that he stay ahead of that Aston Martin driver. 7 tenths gained from Korsman there immediately after escaping DRS, which just shows that is a very impressive driver behind the wheel. He's making that look very, very easy, and I'll tell you what, it's not easy to escape from Neferjan. He is a very quick guy. Of course, the F1.5 drivers, Peanuts and Devon Young, are behind at the moment, so it's definitely a bit of a challenge. Now, Devon, 1.5 seconds, has caught massively to Peanuts here. He only needs a little bit more time to get back into that battle, and we will see yet again another trio from the F1.5 guys with Peanuts, Devon and Robbo. Now, Neferjan, 2.2 seconds. He's still maintaining that gap nicely though from Peanuts. Lost about a tenth overall in the whole lap, which is absolutely fine. He's now gained it back almost, so doesn't really need to worry too much. In the meantime, as Devon has been pushing, he's escaped from Robbo's DRS, but he has got himself a time penalty, unfortunately, an extra one, I should say. Robbo just missing out, I think, on DRS. Will he have managed to be able to hold on to it? I'm not sure. But those older tyres definitely have come back to bite him early on, and he does not get that DRS. Devon Young, freshest tyres on the grid. He is, or in the battle, I should say, is definitely using them to his advantage compared to his rivals. Peanuts, slightly older tyres, and any percent advantage that you can get is good enough. 1.1 seconds is all that he needs. 0.1 seconds is all that he needs, actually. Heisler and Igor having a bit of a battle. I think it's going to be a pretty straightforward move, though, as Igor will just let that happen. Tom Brainer right behind. He's on very fresh tyres compared to Igor, so we could see a switch-up between these guys further behind for the final points positions. Gilly, of course, having that issue early on, but still 2 positions to not score points in this race is a bit of a threat, of course. And Heisler wanting to go for that fastest lap, he does have a bit of difficulties to get that done, of course. 8 seconds to catch up to PJ. Will he be able to get that done? That's going to be an interesting battle for later on, of course. That is a 3-second there for Igor, unfortunately. Devon Young not able to get to Peanuts, but Peanuts able to get to Nifojan. DRS available for this man. These guys are going to have a little bit of a battle later on in the Grand Prix. This is going to be a tasty one. And of course, positions are at play. 3/10 behind. Not going to be in a position to attack. We'll pay a little bit of attention to the race leaders just to make sure that they're not completely alienated. Zingy and Charlie leading the way, 2.2 seconds. Korsman is bringing that gap down lap by lap. Very, very good stuff. I think I'm regretting what I said earlier on, that he's not going to be in a position to be able to attack for this race win. Now, Zingy, all he needs to do is finish P1 or P2. Ideally P1, of course, for Pride. And he will be the champion. Pursoon not racing today. That championship is very, very, very solid for him right now. Of course, with Charlie having that time penalty, even if Charlie gets the win on track, it's going to be Zingy's position regardless. Now, we do go back again to the battles behind. Peanuts only half a second away this time from Nifojan. Managed to bring that gap down a little bit, but not exactly too much energy to fight with. So it's all going to be based on DRS for the time being. Both cars on equal playing fields though. Devon Young almost within range of getting that DRS. Maybe on the final few laps, if Peanuts and Nifo do fight for position, Devon Young will be able to catch up. But really, Nifojan's got to try and fight the position without doing that, of course, because if he does lose that position, I will say it again, he will lose the position for good and he'll lose those points, those 2 points advantage. Currently on route to get 12 points, whereas Peanuts is looking at 10. Those 2 points are nice to have, although they have already secured the team's championship for AlphaTauri a long time ago. That is going to be a time penalty, and as long as Peanuts does not get himself a time penalty, I think that could be job done there for Peanuts. That could be a P4. That would be very nice for his sake. That is actually, though, Korsman incredibly close to these guys. He's gained a massive amount, might even get DRS here. He is going to get DRS, and now Zingy is in trouble. Korsman has got one car in between him and the race leader, and a victory. A 26 out of 29 lap distance. What's it going to be now for the final stages of the Grand Prix? Zingy, for the first time, has had a real threat, of course. Charlie, with that time penalty, not really been too threatening to Zingy, so he's been able to relax and not extend any track limits unnecessarily. That's going to be Peanuts looking to go for the move here on Nifojan. Nifo trying to hold it. He's left minimal room, but he makes it work. That's going to be Peanuts holding on just for a moment, but DRS immediately available. And that is going to be Devon Young catching up nicely. He's going to bring Robbo with him to the fight. And with a 3-second time penalty for these guys, it is going to be all to play for. Although, of course, Devon having that time penalty is automatically going to drop a little bit further behind than these guys if he's not careful. The question is, will Peanuts be able to hold on without any track limit issues later on in the Grand Prix? We've only got a couple laps to go of this race. He doesn't need to hold on for too much longer. Just cross that line and you'll be absolutely good. P4 will be awesome for him. Zingy holding on. Charlie, he's got a lot of pressure in front and behind. Does he attack? It's the best defense and offense. I think in this situation it is. He's going to have to try and hold it. That's Korsman trying to rotate the car. He rotates it nicely and gets a phenomenal exit. That's going to be ERS done. It might even be a double overtake attempt. Zingy, is he going to have to go defensive? It's too late. He will not be able to. But I think Korsman wants to get that DRS, really. More importantly, Zingy, of course, is right there. But trying to look at the exit, making a bit of a mistake in the second part of the chicane. Korsman with the DRS, though. at the end of the straight, a high-speed corner, a lot of camber, a nice send to the inside. He's not going to make it work. He's just going to hold on and get a safer opportunity a little bit later on. Zingy is going to be in trouble here. Korsman might be able to make it work, and it's going to be a very, very strong opportunity for him to do. All of a sudden, lap 28 we will be getting to out of 29. The penultimate lap is on its way. Zingy leads. Tyus Korsman second. Further behind, Peanuts is ahead of Nifferjan. He's managed to get that move back, but Devon Young and Robbo are closer than ever before. All Nifferjan needs to do is make sure that he makes that move on Peanuts so he can have a car in between behind him. That's going to be Devon Young, though, making the move in a big bit of lag, drops him behind. I do not believe it. Devon Young, he won't get the position over Nifferjan if it stands as it is, but Nifferjan cannot afford to lose out to Robbo here. We're going to go to the race leaders, though. This is going to be it. Tyus Korsman goes for the lead of the Grand Prix, surely. Unless he's going to wait for the second DRS straight. He might do that. He is going to do that. You can see the engine is dipping, and that is going to be a very, very tactical move. Zingy trying to take different lines to defend, but I think this time around, Tyus Korsman a bit wiser to the last time around in that chicane, and he's going to go not for the move. He's still going to wait for the final lap of the Grand Prix. That's going to be Robbo in front. I do not believe it. He's in front of Devon Young. He's in front of Nifferjan. He's managed to make that work, and he's looking to maybe even get in front of the pack. Will he be able to do it? I don't quite know. It won't matter if he is ahead of Peanuts, of course. Nifferjan has got to try and make sure that he gets in front of the McLaren. That's all he needs to try and maximise his race. Compared to the rest of the field, we'll have a quick look at the time penalties. Yes, all he needs to do is get in front of that McLaren and he will maximise that race and he can say, job well done. It's not going to be so straightforward though. Tyus Korsman on the final lap of the Grand Prix. I think he's going to try and make it work. He's been spending the last 2 laps saving up on the energy, just trying to make sure that he can secure that victory rather than making that move earlier on and possibly leaving it under threat, of course. It's a very smart move. I was hoping maybe for a bit more of a battle earlier on, but this time he does make it work. It's gonna be Charlie to the inside as well to try and make it happen. It's gonna prevent Zingy from coming back at him. He's not happy. Zingy holds on, defended nicely. I think it's gonna be no contest there. Zingy using the energy, but that battle unfortunately costing Zingy everything. He makes a mistake out of frustration. I do not believe it. He's furious that Charlie's fought that position. He just needs to stay within the time penalty range and he will hold on. Robbo holds on. Nifferjan can't do it. That's going to be Devon Young to the inside to try and fight at least on track for the final time. He's going to get the job done, or is he? Will Nifferjan be able to hold on? I don't quite know. We're going to have Korsman coming round the final corner to win the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, but in season 12, Zingy is the champion. He is the champion. P2 for this man. He gets it done. Charlie in P3, Peanuts P4, Robbo, then Nifferjan in P6. Then we've got Devon Young, Heischler in the soft tyre situation. PJ has given him a lot of pressure right behind, or ahead earlier on, of course. Running out of fuel at the line there. But he, yeah, as I was going to just say that, put a lot of pressure on him, of course. Heischler to work hard for that one to make that move, and only a second away there in the end. That is a very good effort there for PJ. Igor's going to take that final point as long as he doesn't lose it to JJ, of course. That'd be a hell of a comeback there for JJ if he managed to make it work, but I think that is going to be it, almost. Well, he's going to finish it in the pit lane, fair enough. And then Tom Blayner at the back of the pack. He'll be looking forward to tomorrow. That is Korsman taking the win for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Absolutely incredible from him. Zingy, though, he is the man. He is a 6-time LSI world champion. No one else can say that. Very impressive stuff. He's got it done in F1 23, the final season of the F1 23 game. 2 races to go. and it'll be for absolute glory. No risks at all. That is Thijs Koolsman taking yet another victory in LSI. Thijs Koolsman wins, Zingy in P2. Then we got Charlie Peanuts, Robbo, Nifo, Jan, Devon Young, Heisler, PJ, Igor, JJ, Tom Brainer, and Gilly DNFing earlier on in the Grand Prix. Of Tom Brainer actually getting that fastest lap over Heisler instead, with that softer tyre at the very end. We're going to go through the race director, just in case if we need to a little bit later on. And we'll go through the pit stop section as well. And we'll be back for the post-race interviews. We'll see you in a bit. Hello everyone and welcome to the post-race interviews of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. We start with Robbo. Robbo, there was a hell of a battle going on in the end there. It was very exciting. Can you take us through it?
Yeah.
Also, nice strategy of the undercut there.
Thank you. That's what I was mainly going to talk about. The first few laps was a bit hectic, quite a bit of, there was quite a bit more battling than what I would usually want in the first few laps, which meant we lost DRS to the guys ahead. And around Abu Dhabi, it's really important, which I sadly realised. So I was sort of able, once I was on my own, to keep with the guys in front, maybe losing a tenth or two here each lap, but that was just purely because of DRS. But then I knew they were battling quite a lot because I saw there was overtakes, and obviously I could see that on the timing screen. So I thought if there's a way for me to get into the DRS, it's going to be the undercut because they were fighting quite a bit. And I thought one lap wouldn't do it. So because I was 5 seconds behind, and yeah, pit 2 laps earlier than the pit window, and I was able to get into Peanuts DRS, which was really good. Saved a lot of time for me. And yeah, I was able to stay in the DRS. Devon was quite fast, so he overtook me. And there was a few little bits there of losing DRS and then gaining it. And then there was the opportunity to overtake Nifo because Devon was already behind because he had 6 seconds. So I got that triple overtake, which is quite nice. Probably a nice one to look on the replay. And yeah, I think a P5 in the end. P5, P6. One of the two. Not complaining considering where I was. So very good race, very good pace.
Yeah, awesome. Are you confident for tomorrow?
I would be, but I'm not racing, which is quite a shame considering the pace I've shown today. As fast as the guys around me, despite being on 2, 3 lap older tyres, which is quite a shame, but I would have been confident for sure. The pace was good.
Fair enough. Well, on to the next race if you're there. Monza, do you like that circuit?
Yeah, I always find Monza quite hard because there's such small margins with the few corners there is. So there's relatively little time to gain compared to other tracks like Spa or today at Abu Dhabi. So it's mainly just how you end up in the race. You can start anywhere and finish at the front. So I guess we'll see how that goes.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Well said. Well done today. Great effort. And we'll see you next time.
Cheers. Yeah.
We move on to Peanuts, I believe it was next. We move on to Peanuts. Peanuts also in that battle. Very, very entertaining. You came out on top in the end after that one. Of course, breaking away from Korsman then. The strategy on your side, do you think that was still the best strategy you could have pulled?
Well, I mean, Rubbo's undercut kind of has given me a little bit of a shake with my strategy, but I think my strategy was quite good. I felt good on the hards. Pace was good, but I don't know. I didn't feel like I could get the mediums turned on. I never really got into a groove with the mediums. I kind of struggled really, really, really hard, and I kind of had the same problem around this track, I think, last time too, where just getting the mediums going was quite tricky. I mean, what I think I'm doing is I'm braking at the same braking markers as I have on the hards, which means I'm going a little quicker still because it's a medium softer tire, but the pace is not really. I mean, the pace on the mediums is just worse than what it was on the hards. And that's kind of what I got to work on for tomorrow is just make sure that I'm confident on the mediums. I really don't know what happened. My pace was absolutely crap. Managing of ERS was crap. But otherwise, it was okay. I almost got podium. I missed out with like 0.099 or something. But it's just disappointing that I could have gotten that, but I was so bad on the medium. Like it was not fun tire. I felt quicker on the hard on the medium.
Fair enough. Well, good luck tomorrow. I hope it goes well for you there. Maybe the medium situation can change, although it's going to be not too easy to get that done overnight. Monza, do you like that circuit? High speed?
I don't know if I like Monza. It depends on if I get a good result or not. If I beat Devon, Monza is my favorite. If Devon beats me, Monza might not be my favorite.
Fair enough. Well said. Thank you very much, Peanuts. Well done today. Great effort.
Thanks.
And we move on to Tom Brainer. Tom, that was a tough one. A bit of an issue. As soon as I decided to pan over to your onboard, losing the car and losing the front wing, after that, you just tried some different tyres, I guess, trying to get some insight for tomorrow.
Yeah, I just wanted to try getting some data on the soft tires to see my tire wear on this tire, maybe using it for tomorrow's race.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the spin with the front wing damage was really unfortunate, but I really struggled in the second half of any stint, especially with the traction out of a bit slower corners. So I just have to see if I can tweak my setup for this a bit. But else my pace was really good. I felt like I could have driven with the other guys at the front. Even drove the fastest lap, despite the soft lap at the end. So I've got a really good feeling. Just need to get this bit more concentrated and more consistent on the tires.
So do you think you can do well tomorrow with that knowledge that you now have?
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, the pace was great. Bit of a setup tweak and the chance for a podium or even more is definitely there.
Awesome. Now, next race, straight line speed is going to be crucial. Does that suit you? Heavy braking zone as well?
The part with the straight line speed and heavy braking zones do suit me, I would say. But on hindsight, we have really slow traction corners. Where I struggled a bit on the last few races, so it's gonna be a bit more challenging out of the chicanes. Yeah, but overall, it's a really nice track for me, and I hope I can stay longer in as my first race for this league.
Yeah, well, that's yeah, well said. Thank you very much, and we'll see you tomorrow. Good luck then. Thank you very much, Tom. And we move on to Charlie. Charlie, good old battle for P1 there with Zingy. You gave it a good shot. Time penalty wise, though, didn't quite go the way you wanted it to.
I mean, it was fine, I guess. I think P3 would have been like the best possible result either way because, you know, Zingy and Flo are faster than me. Flo caught up either way. I made some mistakes. Besides the penalties, so yeah, I think P3 is still a very good result.
Fair enough. Battling at the end, do you think still P3 was the best you could have done? Did you hope to maybe get it P2 on track, or was it not quite there?
I mean, I had the 6 seconds, so I mean, if I didn't have the 6 seconds, then maybe I would have. I could try to make some better moves, I guess, but I mean, if I didn't have penalties, then it would have been P2 because Zingy made a mistake right at the end. But having the penalties, I saw that Peanuts was catching slowly, and we were in a battle, so we were losing quite a bit of time. So instead of battling, I just decided to stick behind Flo and Zingy, and then hope that Peanuts wouldn't catch enough.
Fair enough. Well, you gave it a good shot. Well done today, being right up there as well. Monza, that's a very, very different circuit to this one. Is that a track that suits you?
No, I think I would have. I think I need to practice for Monza, and I don't know. For this race, I didn't practice again. Somehow I got P3, which is really good. But for Monza is a very difficult circuit, so yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I can hope for a good result there.
Fair enough. Thank you very much. Well done today. Great effort, and we'll see you next time. Well done, Charlie.
Yeah, thank you.
We move on to Heisler. Heisler, hell of a first stint on that hard tyre, by the way. that was a good one, and nice catch up there on PJ at the end.
Yeah, you make it sound like it was a positive race for me, but to be honest, it wasn't. I didn't crash on purpose in the quali. I crashed in the pit lane. At the moment, I thought it was my own fault by not paying enough attention. But at the opening lap, I felt like there was just something weird or wrong with the brake. I felt like I could reach 100% brake, but in between felt weird. It felt like the pressure wasn't enough as I'm used to.
Right.
So I recalibrated at the end of lap 1. So, and that's why I lost like the DRS already. And from that point, it was like just impossible to even think about a podium or get close to the people I should be normally. So it was a bit of a lonely race from that point. PJ fought quite hard with me, which I didn't really understood or know why. But it was fun at least. In my opinion, I didn't have much pace, and yeah, I was just hoping for a safety car. Maybe made Zingy and Nifo a little bit angry by just being really slow on those hards, but I didn't do anything on purpose. Like they could overtake me whenever they wanted to. I was just like, that was literally the pace I could go. So I didn't want to fight them too much. Maybe it did look like that, but I didn't want that. And yeah, the safety car didn't came, so I went on to the softs instead of the mediums since I did so many laps. I hoped I could have get fast lap, but the pace was just shocking, to be honest. The setup was shocking, so it was just nothing really went my way this race.
Fair enough. Well, a track to move on from, and not really notoriously the most dramatic circuits. It's either a crazy race or a bit of a more kind of slower race, I guess you could say, for well, drama, as I just said. Monza, though, that is usually a very different story. Do you like that circuit?
I'm usually not that good at Monza, but we'll see. Maybe I'm able to practice a little bit more than I've done the past few races, so we'll see.
Fair enough. Well, thank you very much, well done today, for the effort and to stay in the race after your technical difficulties. Hopefully it goes well next time, though. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And we move on to Nifojan. That was a long old race. Didn't quite get that position that you wanted in the end, but still a lot of battling. It was an exciting one. Can I say that?
Yeah, it was crazy. It was really crazy. I mean, I got a very good start with, I think, Peanuts and Igor having a bit blocking each other, so I instantly got the P3. And yeah, from then on, I just tried to obviously get to Charlie and Ziggy, but I don't have that pace, man. They just pulled away instantly, and then I just tried to focus on P3. And as soon as I saw Flaw in the top 5, my main mission was just to block this guy or keep him by me for as long as possible, like try to stall him as long as possible, because I knew, like, if there's anything that could like mess with Zingy and the championship, it's probably gonna be Flaw again. So I just tried everything I could just to stay ahead, and yeah, I did that. I think pretty okay. I think I drained him of his battery, and yeah, made him fight for it at least, especially in the first stint. Yeah, and then obviously the pit stops happened. I think I made the wrong choice by pitting 14 because it was too early to really have the benefit of the undercut, and then everybody behind me got like 1 or 2 lap fresher tires, so I didn't really benefit from it. And even if I would have benefited from it, I couldn't because Gijs on hards decided I catched him in the wrong place. I catch him in sector 3, holds me up all the way, and then Flaw and everybody's behind me. And then, yeah, from that point on, no battery. I pushed everything. Peanuts was quicker, better tires. So it was just holding on for dear life. I tried everything I could to keep Zingy behind, and then I lost. Flaw behind Ortiz, and I lost him in 22. And then from then on, I tried to fight for position, but I had massive lag issues. I lagged into braking zones, so I lost like 1 and 2/10, like certain braking zones, and then I just couldn't pull away. It was really annoying. It happened during the whole race, but especially the last bit. I also got a warning because of it, and then got the 3 second. I don't know if I can get that removed. I'll have to look at it, but yeah, I mean, P6 is not bad. I think I definitely could have gotten P4 if certain things went right. I also turned in too late for the pit stop, lost 6/10. So if everything went right, I think we could have gotten P4. But for my first race back, I think P6 is all right, and it was a fun race. So
yeah, it was definitely eventful, which makes it very, very difficult to get a good result. The risk is definitely increased when you were in battles, but really well done. And despite those lag issues, you managed to get a pretty good result. So yeah, very ironic that it managed to happen all at the end of the race with the severe lag issues, of course. But yeah, well done there. Monza, it's a heavy braking zone, straight braking zone circuit. It is also a European circuit though, so it could be that it could be dry, it could be maybe raining. What would you look for, wet or dry conditions at Monza?
Oh, please don't be wet. Please don't be wet. If it gets wet, I'm finished. I mean, Monza, I'm generally bad at. If it's gonna rain, it will be survival instead of having a race. I mean, I just hope I don't have these lag issues anymore, because I also just lagged by Devon, and it's just impossible to defend if you keep lagging and losing time in the braking zone, and especially in the long braking zones of Monza. If you keep lagging there and you're gonna lose time on exit, you're finished. So I just hope that this is just a one-time thing, and then we can move on, and then we'll just see what happens from there.
Fair enough. Well said. Thank you very much, Nifo. Really good effort today. Really good fighting. And we'll see you next time. Well done today. And we move on to Tyler Scoresman, your race winner today. Well done. Very, very good job. It was a just over 4 second gap. Not too late on into the race, but you managed to bring it down and get that victory. You were saving a bit of ERS, I guess, though, on the laps before the final lap.
Yeah. To be honest, I didn't think I was gonna win this one, because in the first stint I wasn't really catching it too ahead. Like I was catching them, and then I lost a bit, and then catching, so it was like sort of a loop, but I wasn't really gaining. So I thought if I just copy their strategy, I'm not gonna get anywhere. So I thought, yeah, screw it. I'm gonna overcut. What's the worst that can happen? And at first I wasn't really catching much at all. And at some point I started catching quite a bit, but I didn't have much battery because Nifo did quite a good job.
Yeah.
And then I ended up catching them like 3 laps before the end. So at that point I just wanted to get past Charlie, get into P2, and then save like a madman. Which I did. And then on the last lap I got very lucky because when I overtook Zingy, Charlie also went for it. So that created a little gap for me, and I could just sail to the finish from there.
Yeah. But, well, it was very, very good job at the end. It was very impressive to see. So well done. That tyre situation then at this circuit, do you think, do the tyres wear more around this circuit than usual, and that's why you had that advantage?
I'm not sure. I didn't really... Looking at the tyre percentages, I don't think so, but maybe in terms of pace, maybe. Because I don't think Charlie nor Zingy hit the second cliff, which is at 60%.
Right.
But I don't know, I felt like I had quite a big advantage at the end. So maybe, yes.
Fair enough. Well, you got the advantage right, so well done. You got that win. Monza, whether you race there or not, is that a circuit that you like?
No, not really. The second chicane is a bit RNG, or if you say it kindly, it's very precise. Yeah. So I don't really like it at all, but I think I'll still race anyway.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. Well, hopefully we'll see you there. Thank you very much. Well done today. Very well deserved. That is another win.
Thank you.
And we move on to Zingy. P2 in the end, not what you wanted for the race, but you are a 6-time LSI World Champion. I want to go through the race first. If you can give us a few words on that one, take us through it, and then we'll talk about the championship a little bit at the end.
Yeah, I mean, for most of the race, it was just me and Charlie going back and forth. Obviously, Niffle helped so much with blocking Flaw, but like maybe he held him up about 3-4 seconds, which doesn't seem like a lot. But in terms of what happened at the end, it was actually quite good because he only caught us with about 4 laps to go. Unfortunately, Charlie made a mistake on one of the laps, and that allowed Flaw into the DRS. But it was a great race, of course. Until I made that mistake, which doesn't usually happen, but I was awfully surprised because I took that curb quite aggressively for most of the race, and then they kind of just chucked me off in the last one, so I'm not sure what that was about, but I still kept it on track, got P2, and all that matters is not only I'll be drivers' champion, but me and Niffle have taken on the constructors as well. So very happy about that.
Yep, and going into the next couple of races, so Monza, the next track, do you like that one? Also, you literally have no need to kind of be conservative for any championship sake. So, is it going to be all out for that one?
Well, Monza, I mean, statistically speaking, it's not a really good track for me. Let's not talk about it too much, but I'm hoping to right those wrongs of a couple of years ago and hopefully get a win there. It's going to be difficult, especially if Flaw's there. He really understands the how the track works, and he uses 60 FPS, so he's obviously going to have an advantage on the curbs, which people laugh at, but it's the truth. I mean, it's just that's how this game works, unfortunately. But no, we'll definitely take him a challenge, and we'll hopefully win that race too.
Fair enough. Well, maybe you're going to have to try and adapt to 60 FPS while you get there, but I'm sure you won't want to do that. Really well done today, but really well done for the entire championship. Yet again, consistency is key. Determination, you got it done. I don't really know what to say, to be honest, because there's not really much to say than really well done. It was incredible. 6 championships now, 5 in a row. And yeah, I don't know. Can you? I really don't know what to say. So I don't know if you have anything to say. Do you have any inspirational quotes that you can give us after getting that championship? How does it feel?
Push hard, give birth.
yeah. Well, I don't. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Well done today. Maybe that's not what Zingy said. That's maybe what the doctor said when Zingy was born. But anyway, I just need to stop talking. Thank you very much, guys. It's been a pleasure. We'll see you tomorrow for the F1.5 EU Championship. We'll see you next weekend for the Italian Grand Prix. And yeah, I'm not going to spend any longer. Goodbye.